This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks around the world. Real quick, before we move on, I want to stop and thank so many of you. The last few News Todays have been among the most watched of all time. So we want to thank all of you who continue to watch all the time and welcome all of our new viewers. I know we have a ton of new subscribers. Well, welcome. And real quick, I got to plug that these are back at carouselofproducts.com. We once again have the long sleeve Gertie Christmas shirts. They are back. And this year they are different because Carousel Products, once an item sells out, we don't bring it back as it was. This is a special 50th anniversary edition of the Gertie Happy Holidays shirt. You got Gertie's big old footprint up on the front with the ornament. And then down the sleeve, you got the ornaments as well. We even did a 50th one to mark the special 50th ornament that Gertie has been holding for the last two seasons. So pick it up now, carouselproducts.com. These sold out in less than 48 hours last year, and then when they're gone, they're gone. We're not making this shirt again. This is the last run. So make sure you don't miss it. Here now is the news for November 30th, 2022. A Walt Disney World Resort hotel is finally installing the Amazon Echo devices for the Hey Disney voice assistant, still advertised publicly to be coming soon. This week, guests at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort have been notified that cast members may enter their rooms to install these devices, and that guests will be allowed to be the first to test the long-delayed service. The Disney version of Alexa will be available on any Echo device, but a special version will be embedded in Echo smart displays and speakers at Disney Resort hotels. Magic Band Plus will also be compatible with Hey Disney, and guests at home or in Disney resorts can play games with their Echo and Magic Band Plus, which will act as a game show-style buzzer, reacting with lights and haptics. Hey Disney will help resort guests with their questions about parks and provide concierge services. Over 25 Disney character voices, including from Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and Muppets, will be included, and relevant characters will be used for alarms, weather reports, and more. For example, Olaf will be giving the weather. Hey Disney will be available to USA customers with a Kids Plus subscription or in the Alexa Skills Store very soon. Earlier this month, we reported that a new magnet design for Walt Disney World annual pass holders would be delivered. Now pass holders are starting to receive them in the mail. This year, the new design features Minnie Mouse from the Disney Channel and Disney Plus animated Mickey series. The outside of the packet, which is covered in red and white dots, previews the magnet with more pass holder magic with a waving Minnie Mouse in the lower right-hand corner. And opening the trifold packet, the inside cover boldly states, "The star has arrived," with a photo of Minnie on the right side, then gives some fun facts about Minnie, including her debut alongside Mickey Mouse in the 1928 short Plain Crazy. Additionally, she was honored with a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame for her 90th birthday. In the middle section, a QR code takes pass holders to the Pass Holder Buzz on the My Disney Experience app. It also tells pass holders where to find more information, including on the Disney World Pass Holder Facebook page and the monthly e-newsletter. Each pass holder will receive, I say that with an asterisk, 2 die-cut Minnie Mouse annual pass holder magnets if you receive them at all. Features a large red D with the Walt Disney World and annual pass holder in the classic opening day Walt Disney World font. The image of Minnie Mouse in all her sassiness, with her hands on her hips, a big smile, and her flower pot style hat with a bright yellow flower at a jaunty angle. At this time, only active pass holders who wish to renew their passes may do so. New sales of annual passes are currently paused. Recent staffing changes indicate that Disney is aiming to reopen the Walt Disney World Railroad at the Magic Kingdom before this Christmas, December 25th. That's good because we are quickly approaching, I think it'll be over 4 years of the 4th anniversary of the railroad being closed, or something crazy is coming up real soon. The railroad has been closed since 2018, where it was shut down in order to reroute the tracks for the construction of Tron Light Cycle Run. Recently saw that the Walter E. Disney was testing the full track with cast members on board. Meanwhile, work in the construction site at Tron has been slowing down with landscaping in progress. Now the train station attendants have been seen training as well. That would indicate that, again, we are very, very close to the reopening of the Walt Disney World Railroad. But stay tuned. And again, even this morning we saw the trains out and about again. So it seems like we are finally, I'm going to knock on wood, very close to the reopening of this thing. It's been way, way too long, way too long. When Remy's Ratatouille Adventure opened on October 1st, 2021 at the France Pavilion in EPCOT, the ride vehicles were exactly the same as the ones that exist at Disneyland Paris. However, the configuration of some of the ride vehicles has been modified. Originally, the ride vehicles, which are shaped like, rats, had 2 rows with defined seat barriers in each row. The vehicles are the same versions, again, as the 2014 ones from Walt Disney Studios Paris. When we recently took a ride on the trackless attraction, we discovered that the small partitions had been removed in many of the vehicles, not just in the front row, but also in the back row. And that's important, right? Because we have to indicate that the reasoning we think for this is, number one, mobility, and number two, also, let's be perfectly honest, American guests in general are going to be larger. In a number of ways. I will say that. So this is, and a lot of people are like, what's your reasoning? And people are like, oh, you're fat shaming and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm fat shaming. Someone who's been overweight their whole life, I'm going to fat shame people. You have to be honest, right? So if you go to the international parks, these little seat barrier things exist in so many more rides than they do here. Great example, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. A lot of the other Big Thunder Mountain Railroads have this divider thing in the middle. Why does that exist there and not here? Because again, generally in other countries, for the most part, people are of a certain size. Obviously there are outliers, but in general, they've not had problems with this. So in Tokyo or Paris or wherever, these barriers have been there. And in the case of Big Thunder opened in the 80s, in Tokyo, they've never touched it, right? There's no reason to. But then here, obviously, this vehicle's only been in use for about a year, and clearly they've had problems. I'm sure there are people with mobility issues loading in where it's just easier to have the flat bench. And then obviously there are people that just don't fit there, right? It's a thing. And so they've had to fix this. For anyone to deny those are the reasons as to why they've made these changes is kind of crazy, because obviously that's why it's done. Again, when these dividers are so commonplace, again, on rides that don't have them in the US, they have them in Europe and Asia. So, I mean, clearly that's part of it. If it's something we've missed, if cast members know more, please let us know. But I mean, that would make sense to me based on every experience we've ever had with this kind of thing. So, and also larger guests, I don't think is offensive. I'm a larger guest. I don't find that offensive at all. So it's not clear if they're going to do all of them. I think they are going to redo all the vehicles, but only time will tell. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all of our WIGS members who make the show possible each and every week. The 2023 EPCOT International Festival of the Arts will return beginning January 13th, and Disney has released a full lineup for the Disney on Broadway concert series. Here's the schedule as follows. January 13th, 15th, 16th, 19th, and 20th will be Cara Lindsay from Newsies and Kevin Massey of Tarzan fame. January 14th, 17th, 18th, 21st, and 22nd will be Ariel Jacobs from Aladdin and Adam Jacobs, also of Aladdin. January 23rd, 25th, 26th, 29th, 30th, February 2nd, and 3rd, Patty Murin of Frozen and Robert Creighton of Frozen as well. January 24th, 27th, 28th, 31st, February 1st, 4th, and 5th, Mandy Gonzalez of Aida and L. Stephen Taylor of The Lion King. February 7th, 10th, 11th, 14th, 15th, 18th, and 19th will be Kissy Simmons of The Lion King and Josh Strickland of Tarzan. February 6th, 8th, 9th, 12th, 13th, 16th, and 17th is Ashley Brown, Mary Poppins, and Michael James Scott of Aladdin. And on February 20th, a special extended finale performance featuring Brown, Scott, Simmons, and Strickland will be available. Dining packages go on sale December 13th. You could choose from 8 unique eateries at EPCOT offering Disney on Broadway concert series dining packages at lunch and dinner. And each package includes an appetizer, entree, and dessert, or one full buffet where applicable, along with a non-alcoholic beverage, and one guaranteed seat per person to a Disney on Broadway concert series event held the same day. And the full list is available at WDWNT.com of those restaurants, and as well, even their pricing. 4 new waffle bowls are now available at Fairfax Fair and Hollywood Studios. The barbecued beef brisket bowl is $14.79. It's braised brisket tossed in barbecue sauce, topped with pickled jalapenos, red onion, and corn chips, served on house-made queso sauce and mashed potatoes in a waffle bowl. The Korean barbecued pork belly bowl, $14.79, is braised pork belly tossed in Korean barbecue sauce with Korean salad and green onions, served on mashed potatoes in a waffle bowl. The Buffalo Chicken Bowl, $13.99, is chicken breast nuggets tossed in buffalo sauce and topped with coleslaw on mashed potatoes in a waffle bowl. And the plant-based soba noodle salad bowl is chilled soba noodle, edamame, red cabbage, red pepper, shredded carrots, celery, and green onions tossed in yakisoba sauce, served in a waffle bowl. Also for that chicken, there is a plant-based version of that available as well. The reviews of all of these are up at WDWNT.com. Can we please just get the chicken nuggets tossed in sauce separately? Like, I'm not against the bowl, but I really miss getting the chicken with the sauce separately. And then also when it was at Sci-Fi, I missed that. About 2 weeks ago, we reported Disney had purchased a massive 19-deck cruise ship called the Global Dream, which remained unfinished at the time. And now we learned that Disney paid a comparably paltry sum for the massive ship. According to the German business news site Capital, Disney reportedly paid only $41 million for the still unfinished Global Dream ship, which is only 75% finished while construction was underway at Meyer Werft in Germany. The shipyard, owned by, again, the former owner Genting Hong Kong, has gone into administration following its parent company's bankruptcy as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Global Dream was originally estimated to cost about $1.8 billion to construct, leaving Disney with significant financial room to improve the ship while still coming in under cost for a new ship. At a $41 million cost, at just over 2% of the original ship's estimated cost. We almost could have afforded to buy the ship, Eric. We could have had a ship. Never mind. Disney is expected to work with their typical shipbuilder, Meyer Werft, who will temporarily take over operations of the former MV Werften shipyard in Wismar to complete and outfit the new ship before its new owner, ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems, takes over the yard in 2025. Disney is expected to spend another $1 billion in converting and finishing the ship, according to Capital, although new SEC filings state total costs are anticipated to be less than our recent fleet additions. Also noting the cost of the ship was not material. Not at that price. Guests visiting Disney parks are no strangers to price hikes. Typically, guests expect park passes and annual passes to increase at least on a yearly basis. Now we've discovered that Disneyland Paris has dramatically increased prices at many of the resort's restaurants. This is the largest price increase in the resort's history. Found that on average, there was a 7 to 12% increase in prices for table service restaurants at the resort. Buffets that were originally €42 are now 45. The Greenwich Village menu at Manhattan Restaurant, located at Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel, increased from €49 to 55. Lunch at the Plaza Garden Restaurant went from 38 to 45, an 18% increase. And the popular Walt's, an American restaurant located on Main Street, saw a 31% increase from €42 to 55. And although prices remain the same at quick service locations and for combo menus, neither of them include a dessert anymore. And the price of drinks such as Coca-Cola increased €4. Increased to €4, up about 20 cents. There is a full list of all the increases at our website. This is not to be unexpected, right? Disneyland Paris is very much succeeding since reopening. They have been doing tremendous attendance, great numbers. They get brought up at every earnings call, what a success story they are. So this is to be expected. And for the Disneyland Paris fans, the Disneyland Paris locals especially, I know that is hard to swallow. I get that. This is what happens when the park succeeds, though. I know it hasn't throughout its history at many times. And so, this doesn't happen very often. If they continue to profit and if they continue to be successful, same as Disney World, Disneyland, Tokyo, all of those, you're going to see price increases because that's what happens. When the market will bear it, that's what they're going to do. Shanghai Disney Resort will be closed again. They are closed again as of November 29th, 2022. They had just reopened on November 25th after having been closed since October 31st, which is, again, they were open for 4 days. That was all shortly after reducing capacity and workforce in October. The resort was closed also from March through late June of this year. You check out photos of the neglected and overgrowth of all the topiaries and such in the park during that time on our website. They reopened in phases. We assume they will again this time, although I think they just opened in full when they reopened on the 25th. But again, China has a zero tolerance policy for COVID-19. It's a dynamic zero COVID strategy is what they call it, to prevent any and all transmission of the virus using extensive and constant testing as well as aggressive lockdowns. No one really knows what former Disney CEO Michael Eisner thinks about another former CEO, Bob Chapek. I have some idea. Or the direction of the Walt Disney Company. But based on a recent Twitter post, we might have a better idea. The day after Chapek was fired and Bob Iger was back in the CEO seat, Eisner tweeted, quote, "Welcome back to Disney, Robert Iger." So in addition to most of the Walt Disney Company and the Disney fan community, Eisner was happy to see Iger back. Now, a week later, Eisner has followed up that tweet with a second one that says, quote, "The Walt Disney Company has suffered in recent years. This is a good time for us to remember the words of Walt Disney, who said, 'Everybody falls down. Getting back up is how you learn to walk.'" If it wasn't clear what Eisner thought of how the company was being run under Chapek, this tweet pretty much answers those questions. And when he says that the company has suffered in recent years, he certainly was not talking about the Iger era. I want to say something real quick. I have heard from people that talk to Michael Eisner somewhat regularly. He was not a Bob Chapek fan. He absolutely was not. We know Bob Iger wasn't. People talking about going to dinner with him over the last 2 years with Chapek in charge, and it was all Iger could talk about. And they'd kind of ask, "Bob, are you okay?" Michael Eisner was also not a big fan. So I don't know who was. I don't know if anyone ever liked Bob Chapek. Maybe his family. They might like him. I don't know. For the absolute latest on these stories and more, and all those that didn't make it into today's show, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. People have commented I've been happier on the show. Hell yeah, I have been. You want me to be upset? Oh, happy Tom's back. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, the Vacationeer, the engineers of your next magical vacation. Sit back and let their team of vacation planning experts craft your family's next magical Disney trip. And the best part is, their services are free. Visit WDWNT.travel for details. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is a happy Tom Corliss saying, enjoy the rest of your today. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
This is Disney Entertainment News Today. I'm Rob Whiteside, and here now are the top Disney entertainment stories.
For the latest in Disney entertainment news, watch Disney Entertainment News Today, hosted by Rob Whiteside. From movies and series news to stage shows, books, video games, and more. New episodes drop every Tuesday on WDWNT.tv.